Mark Miller and I really worked on making sure that you couldn't discriminate against people who use Section 8 vouchers. So what would happen is, if you got a Section 8 voucher from the federal government, a landlord could say, I don't take that, so you can't rent from us. And so then it ended up being like certain landlords would take them, and then everyone would be, you couldn't live in the school district you wanted to live in, your family, or you were really consigned to certain buildings, really. And we thought, well, why? That's not good in general for the whole community. And two, it's just morally, I think, wrong. So Mark Miller and I worked hard to pass an ordinance that said you can't discriminate. And it was a close vote. I think we were successful with a couple people. I know trying to get Helen Johnson in Stoughton to vote for it. We went down to Stoughton and talked to the ministers at her church, and then they preached about it on Sunday, and we got her vote. And I think we got 2 or 3 votes by going down to that level and engaging the faith community. It was the way government should work, and it was nice to be effective.
People will remember me for the Community Restorative Courts. We created the only court in the nation, in the world, recreated a Community Restorative Court that focuses on 17 to 25-year-olds in Dane County. And when someone participates in a restorative justice model, they take accountability for what they've done, they repair the harm in the community, they reduce the risk, but most importantly, we're able to meet them at those core issues that have led them to make the decision that they made. The beauty of the restorative court is that the victim has a voice. The victim has a major role in saying if we're going to take your restorative justice agreement. They have a say into what the agreement should say. This particular community restorative court, it's quicker than your traditional system, but it holds accountability. Imagine you're 17 and 25-year-old, you make a terrible decision because you did something at 18 years old you weren't thinking so clearly about it, you had the peer pressure. Impacts you now that you graduate from college, so now you can't work at the bank. You'll never be the CEO of this company. I believe in giving people another chance. I don't say second chances. I say chances, because people are people. So that's been a really critical project, and I can say for sure we're the only community restorative court internationally that does not have a judge. The judge is our district attorney, and the peers are the community leaders.
I worked with a number of other county board supervisors to create a youth and governance program here in Dane County, where our high school students could apply to serve on our standing committees and sit at the table with county board supervisors and influence government, ask questions and learn about how government works. And I hope that it is continuing to plant a seed of how important youth voice is and empowerment of young people's values and perspective.
One of the fights that I was involved with was to consolidate the 911 system. You had city police dispatch, you had city fire dispatch, you had sheriff's dispatch. But if you were driving on the Beltline and you had some emergency, you didn't know what jurisdiction you were in, who you should call. So going to a 911 system where the system would figure out where you were and who was the appropriate jurisdiction to respond made sense for a growing urban county. There was a lot of intricate negotiations that had to be done to achieve that. There were a lot of forces that said, oh, we don't want to do that, why change? So you had to both persuade them and work hard on your issues and facts to get those things accomplished. But we did a lot of them.
The comprehensive rewrite of the county's zoning ordinance, that process took over 3 years. But that process of rewriting a zoning ordinance, literally people said it couldn't be done. But working with town leadership, most significantly depending on the expertise and competency of the Dane County staff, we got it done. That's the bottom line. That working with other people, listening to their concerns, gathering the information to respond to what those concerns would be. How can we work this through? And we did. So that almost 3-year process of getting that comprehensive rewrite done, having the towns vote to approve that rewrite, and again, particularly after people who have experience with county board and county leadership had said it couldn't be done. Well, it was.
I'm the interim executive director of the Alliant Energy Center, and I'm really proud of that work. It's an economic engine for our community. We bring people to Wisconsin and to Dane County to come visit us, and when they're here, they spend money. So we've studied this, and we know that 1,700 jobs are supported in our community by the residual impact of having that facility. We also know that we're not going to be able to keep paying our bills with the revenue that we get if we don't continue to invest in the facility. And that's what the work I've been doing is about. And we have looked at recommendations and developed a master plan that we know if we did that, we'd be looking at another 1,300 jobs in our community that would be supported by the economic impact of that facility. So I'm really proud to be filling in while we're looking for a permanent executive director out there. It's gratifying to be able to continue my work for a little bit longer on the Alliant Energy Center.